My name is Isopahkala and I'm a product designer. I'm here today to tell you about my work, how they've been created. So my background is in University of Art and Design Helsinki, where I did my master in a program of applied art and design. I graduated from 2008. Before that, I've been passing by many different design schools, from classic art school, from glass and furniture and interior design schools. All those places gave me something, but I feel that my main education has been sealed in Helsinki, which is nowadays Aalto University. I set up my own design studio while studying 2006, just to sell some of my small production in the design shops in Helsinki. Still, I count my real designer studio life has been started in 2008 in Milan Fair, where I got my first design agreement signed as just graduated. So these two, the school and own studio, is my foundation to work as an entrepreneur and designer. So I didn't go to work for others after graduation. Things just happened and I started to get some projects. I consider myself lucky since I was able to make things what I felt right and were suitable for me by that time. I really had a good gut feeling and still I follow that same intuition. Of course, this gut itself didn't bring stars from the sky. On top of that, I was following these three things I've listed here. Courage. It can be design competition or some new opening. In this part, you just need to dive. You need to focus and let go. Devotion. It's when you are there in a swimming, you should still be alert and be prepared to develop your skills. That can be material-wise or technically, mentally, and so on. Third one is commitment. You need to tolerate uncertainty. Even when you are there swimming in the ocean and you are feeling really exhausted, you tolerate and believe what you do. By the end, good things happen because you have been working hard. So, my design philosophy. Then when you know how to do your job, you need to have the ideology and rules what you do. My design philosophy has been built on the necessity. I design necessary beauty with soul. I always aim to generate a reaction into the people. I consider details. I love quality crafting and quality materials. And in my design, there is sustainability in every scale, which is also including humanity. Because I think that there are also many kinds of necessities in the world. For me, the necessity can be functional or just beauty. I love that between there is a lot of materials and different ways to execute particular necessity. That gives me also some artistic freedom, but just enough. I think that the project itself informs the suitable balance. Because the design is dialogue between the designer and the need. Also, all the projects are different and they acquire certain production methods. So, as a designer, my work is to listen. So, is this the calling? I'm curious, I'm a problem solver. I love organizing things. I'm a hands-on type and I love details, but I have these serial thinking skills. I love aesthetics. I'm brave, but then in the same time, I'm sensitive. So I wrote these bravenesses and sensitiveness in green bold because those two opposite features are so important in design work. And I also love craftsmen, different materials and handmade marks. So here I've collected some of my works. What you see in these, maybe I could ask. Is there everyday objects, industrial design, craft, nice forms, different materials, or beauty, perhaps? What I see is the tip of the iceberg. And what is under the surface is the core of this presentation, how my works are created. I think the hidden part size comparing to the upper visible part varies in different projects. All projects are unique in that sense. We can go through a bit this slide. At the bottom peak, there is time equals money. It gives the frame for total project. It can be, for example, half-a-year project or 3-year project. It can be the work can be a pioneer work with almost zero money, or then a project where the financial frame is wide and bold. I put the artistic projects going upright. You have to have first the artistic goal, which demands the particular techniques and then the material what you use. On the left, there is the industrial project, where also the goal needs to be outcome first. Industry might have a certain production line or method already, where you just need to go in. And it's really important to understand to whom you are designed for. Who is the final user? Is it normal coffee drinker who appreciates the functionality, or is it a person who appreciate the high quality more than bulk product? So this creates under the surface part and works then as a foundation for the upper visual part. The functionality, the visuality, the details of the visible and touchable product. If we look those images again and think what there is under the surface. We can start from right upper corner at 1 o'clock there. One is art. It was a competition work. The second round in the competition enabled the possibility for me to reach the Murano blowers in Venice. So that was my goal, to reach them, and then I made my work for that. Second one is, it was a company project with some idea that let's start to test new thing. The new thing was furnitures. During this product development, the company got the idea what this type of product line needs from them. So in this case, the project stopped to a prototype level, but it was totally okay and very important for the company because they got the information instead of continue blind. So the third one is, this is the serial produced jewelry. The starting point were my own prototype from where I needed to change the idea of the jewelry to a serial production and make the series more user-friendly. Fourth one is idea of new functionality. This project was a bit funny and a bit contemporary. I designed the carpet for the breadcrumbs that cannot be seen in between the ruffles. The work was made only for discussion, and for that it could be a real product in some other form in the future. And the fifth one, when you are inside the company, you get artistic freedom to create new forms and needs. So I was with this project just following the ideology of the company. And the sixth one is industrial brief, 100%. Strict frame, time, function, and commercialism. And the result was this working plain ceramic tableware. So different ones. So design is problem solving. And the work is always really creative. There is, of course, the starting point, pump, in the between, maybe many of them, and then the end. So what comes to my work? I can divide it into. There is this my own work, and then there is company projects. My own work can be unique, and normally I make them for the exhibitions. And it can be also like longer period of artistic work, where I do some experiment with the materials and technique and things like that. And quite often those periods, they became to a small series production. Then I can take part into the competition, and if you're lucky, you can get the competition changed to a company project later on. Another way to reach the companies is to get the design briefs, and I work with design briefs as a freelancer designer. So with next slides, I go through some of my work and open a bit how they've been created. This is Nuppu glass series. I made this work for thesis in Helsinki. I fell in love with glass during my exchange period in Czech. And before in Prague, I just made one work out of glass, and it was really fascinating, and I really wanted to learn more. So that's because of this. So I wanted to experiment. And the idea behind this work is combine in one product industrial and unique. So there is dialogue between handwork and work in a series. So basically these glasses being partly molded partly blowed in the mold, and partly from the stem part, they are like hand worked. So they are kind of having these both elements inside one product. This was the work I exhibited also in Milan Fair 2008. So this was the project I got my first design agreement signed as well. And it became like this. This is then the company project. My real designer life started. It was a soft slide for me, since the glasses were made in Poland, and the company was Habitat from UK. So they used the Polish factories. They were really similar than in Czech I've been used to and worked with before. So, but nevertheless, I needed to give up some parts, and of course that part was this unique part. So the stems became like alike. They are like a solid ones, not having different kinds of shapes like before. It was okay for me, because design evolves and change always for the customer needs, and that's totally fine. Because I still got the original idea by myself, and I could make something else with it later. Again, some work inspired of Czech glass. During my exchange period, I saw quite some much ugly and touristic glass, crystal glasses. It was really sad for me, because the Czech has such a long crystal cutting history, and they are so skillful in it. So this ugliness bothered me so much that I wanted to do something for it. And also the skill of cutting glass were really inspiring. So my plan was to save the crystal cutting industry in Czech, of course. Again, the same idea, industrial, unique. In this point, it was maybe better like industrial and handmade, Yeah, and this handmade was like Czech made. The idea of the product itself, I used one mold. Make the series then by just cutting the one basic glass out to a different shapes. The basic shape here is the third glass on the third glass, the glass from the right hand side. So I had around 8 different silhouettes or something like that, which the engravers then cut out from this solid basic shape. So the final destination for this project was also exhibition, like quite often I have. And after this exhibition, at least I think I have 2 big ones, and then I have several ones, and they are even today, these classes are going somewhere in the exhibitions. But I got so much good feedback that I started to produce these classes independently then. Next one is unique pieces. During this project, I was already worked some time with glass, and I got understanding how expensive glass blowing can be. Even one flawless glass object can be work of several days, and it's really, really expensive. So in this case, I had an idea, and I wanted to be sure that the blowing would succeed at once. So I didn't have any other possibility than to contact the best ever blower in the world. So I contacted to the master in Murano, Venice, this Mr. Pino Signoretto, who's been blowing, for example, to Timo Sarpaneva's work. So he couldn't not be too bad. So I was really honest with him. I told him my budget, and we agreed that we can blow 3 objects out of with the budget. And those we did, and nothing extra. And I got perfect objects, and they were just as I was designed them for. And in the same time, I got really a good possibility to work with the world's best glass blower in that time. Even though it was expensive to travel there and spend some time in Venice, still it was worth for it. Also, today, unfortunately, Mr. Signoretto has passed away a few years ago, so I have really like treasures here now. Another type of work. Time to time, I need to change material. I work with different kinds of materials to clear my mind, and that keeps me really alert. It's really good if I don't do much about some material, for example. So I'm more daring to test new things in a new way. But when I work outside the box, I want to work with best professionals. Like in this project, I work with the master carpenter, the cabinet maker Jari-Pekka Wilkman maybe in Finnish, who is really maybe the best furniture maker ever in Finland. And with this work, this is the ceiling light. I was interested in material because I've been working quite some time with glass, and I wanted to have wood, and I wanted to do something functional, but also having this unique and sculptural feeling in a functional object. So I also wanted to challenge myself to make new approaches to the ceiling light. It works in a way that with LEDs, the LEDs are inside those colorful end parts of the light itself, and then you can turn the light arms itself like 360 degrees, and then like those end parts 45 degrees upwards, that the light are giving the bounce light from the ceiling to the room. So this kind of a soft atmosphere with LEDs. This was the mother of the previous light. I think it was 2011 when I did this work, and then the LEDs were very new and very fascinating. They were so small, the LEDs, that the absolutely new light design was possible to make. So that I remember that time it was really inspiring lots of different designers, light designers. So this sculpturing and this uniqueness interested me, and this light and these mobile light arms were then created because of it, like the previous project. So the idea was in this light that the user could choose the shape of the light and the almond of the light by moving the light arms as wanted. And exactly, basically the same than before, but then in this the light were towards down. And again, with this project, I had intelligent people to work with me. The innovation part was created with close cooperation to Design Factory, which is the MacGyver department in Aalto University. So there were lots of engineers and like people knowing so much than me. So it was really interesting. We, for example, discovered a new technical solution to the light switch inside the light arm where the parts, the arms are twisting. So basically, at one point when all the arms are gathered, like at one position, the light is switched off. And then when you take one, bing, 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 it gives the lights more. So this kind of a project. This is the latest outcome of the sculptural light theme I've been working for. This light series has been made in 2016, and I wanted to continue the work only with wood because I think it was simpler for the production. Because I wanted to make this production by myself, so of course using only one line it's easier and financially good way to go. So also I choose wood because I love the warmth which was good next to the really technical LEDs. So in this series I also thought more about the logistic and user experience, that the flat pack gives more possibilities for sending items more far. I also wanted the customer can build their own sculpture by themselves. So I was giving them the feeling of creating something, but not too difficultly. This is wooden mortar. I wanted to explore the material, and also why I did this was that I got an invitation to the wood exhibition. It gave me the opportunity to work again the best carpenters. And I was so lucky because I was working with Matti Söderkultalahti. He's working in Fiskars, and he's maybe, again, I always saying the best in Finland, but yeah, honestly, they are really good craft people I've been working with. I'm really lucky. He's a turning master, like amazing work. You need to Google him. Again, the experiment with the material and new crafting methods, I'm in, of course. It was really nice. And this project went in that way that I made some small serial pieces it was the exhibition pieces, but in the same time, people love these so much. I made another series and they've been sold somewhere in Artek and different places in Helsinki. This is my first touch to the jewelry design. At least the first image on the left is the first one. It's a furring jewelry, I made this because I wanted to challenge myself again with a different type of product designing. And I also had an exhibition where I needed to have this new thing to go on. So I made these rings, 30 pieces by myself. And just in the same time, I was like having this small touch of how the silver works and how you need to work for it. And then the fur part is reindeer fur attached to the metal. So I did this for some time. Because of this, actually, I was putting my Studio 2006 up. Yeah, I was selling these. Yeah, but then I did something else afterwards, and this ring making, like, I forgot it. But then maybe after 10 years or something, someone remembered again these rings and called me, like, maybe it's really nice project, we love it, and could you please make some more rings? And today, for the National Museum of Finland, like, I think it was again this 30 pieces or something. It was made to order package. So of course I did that, and in the same time I was able to evolve the design, and this V ring was then happening. So from the jewelry to the light design, these two lights, I put them together. They are having my love to glass and my love to light. And glass and light, they are fitting together perfectly. So both lights, they've been made for the exhibitions again, and they've been handcrafted with some kind of a partner. And this greenhouse, the first from the left, they are studio glass produced with limited series. And this on the right hand, the gem light is a prototype of new shape and glass material. It's the glass, actually it's a borosilicate glass, maybe I pronounce it right, but it's the laboratorium glass, which is normally used with hot liquids, like those products you need to use hot liquids, like coffee makers and some glasses where you put the hot beverages. So even this kind of shape would have been easily made out of this normal soda glass in Finland and so on. I of course wanted to again have this widen my perspective and meet new people and new factory. So I found this new factory in Czech Republic who did this laboratorium glass. So I met them and we made this prototype. Later on, these greenhouse glass lamps and been produced by made to order as well, like the rings and some crystal glasses and some other things before. And that's the way they became a small series produced. And this gem light, it's been prototype for the upcoming designs and collaboration. For example, this light been able to discover because of my previous works, those gem lights and greenhouses. They gave the goal itself to the design process. The people who wanted me to work for them, they knew those previous works and they just wanted to do something similar with me. So with this work, I had a quite some brief. Of course, there was this like some I could do some with some own ideas, but like electrical parts and the illumination and all those things, which are really strict and important. They were coming from the team. With the teamwork, we put the design and the technical parts together. So this is a commercial design, really honestly. This is also a company project. 100% company briefing. I had really nice opportunity to work with new material and in a new way. I never ever done anything with the stainless steel or even the cutleries. It was my never ever this first project like this. But the company, this Marimekko, they were like, they wanted to do something with me really open-mindedly. So I got the opportunity, and also I got really nice artistic freedom with it, but also amazing interaction inside the teamwork. So this is always one of my favorite projects in the company-wise, because the result is functional. It's beautiful product series, which looks like the company itself. So I think it was good work in that sense. In between, I need art projects which has aesthetic and materially experimental starting points. So these objects, they've been made with collaboration with dear friend and colleague of mine, with Sami Ruotsalainen. We appreciated each other's work, the ideology and visuality, and we wanted to work together. Actually, this is our second duo exhibition project. So we both wanted to make something with glass and ceramic. Sami knows ceramic better than me, and I was more or less like testing, and we were like pushing each other to make new works. And this project's name is Äärillä, which means on the edge in English. So we were trying to find the boundary of each material. I wanted to make some tests of flattening the glass with mold, and then to continue with that glass by hand. So we got the result of unique series of glass pieces. I make some domes and some sculptures, and some ceramic lids I made for the Sami's ceramic pots, and also glass lids. I made some wooden bases for all the products, and which finally collected all the unique works as an ensemble of Äärillä. My final project is the jewelry of mine. This is a Pisara jewelry necklace, which has a set of bracelet and earrings, 2 types of earrings. With this project, I took part of the jewelry design competition. I had then a really strong gut feeling and need to take part when I saw the ad. Before this, I was designed only this fur-ring jewelry, this 30 pieces, and some years back. But that doesn't bother me in this time. I felt I need to dive. So for the first round, I draw the sketches, and I got chosen for after the next round of the competition. Then I just needed to make some hand-touchable mock-up, whatever material that the jury could see how it works or what are the dimensions and so on. Well, somehow I saw immediately the jewelry in silver. So I didn't have the goldsmith skill in that sense, but then I was really certain that certain of my idea that I need to make it. So I hired a model smith to finalize my entry. And I took a financial risk, but it was worth it. I won the competition, and this Lapponia jewelry, whose competition it was, invited me to their guest designer. So it became the Pisara changed to this winter pearl jewelry set for Lapponia jewelry. So the set is very much based on the competition entry. So basically, I just needed to develop the design suiting for Laponia's production line better. I don't know how much time I've been spent. There are just few slides left. And then some happy moments. Lastly, very much exciting, but really rewarding. In this lovely violet suit is the Queen of Sweden, and in red, the First Lady of Finland. I got an invitation to present my work for them, which were then arranged during the royal visit in Helsinki. The ladies, the presidential and the royal ladies, presidential and royal husbands, they were together somewhere else while we were having this lady moment. And there's another image from the left, the daughter of our previous president in lovely light green dress is wearing my winter pearl jewelries. This image is from the reception of Independence Day in 2011. That's autumn. I think the winter pearl was just launched, and I counted over 15 jewelries all around the presidential palace on that night. Of course, I was just checking from the TV, but it was really happy moment. I didn't expect anything. So this was it. Thank you for listening. I'm very much interested in to hear some new openings and your crafting and so on. So don't hesitate to contact. And of course, if you have any questions, I think there is this possibility to have questions for me.